Hey, how y'all doing, everybody? So today in this Walking in Christ video, we're gonna really get into walking the walk. So, in our past videos, we've kind of hinted on it a little bit here and there, but walking your walk is such an important thing. It's something that sometimes we may see and assess and be aware of in others. But the thought has to come back to us. How much have you really looked at how you walk the walk? How you make sure your life, if you're a believer, if you are following Christ, is a reflection of that. And there are many times where, when it comes down to exemplification, that there's a focus on how our walk is affecting others, but it starts with how we make sure our walk in ourselves aligns with what we have seen in Christ, what we read in the Word. It's important to make sure you are accountable to that, to the point to where you, as I mentioned in the last video, are self-regulating. You are self-aware, and your connection with God is meaningful enough to you, the center of who you are, in a way to where it matters to you in a way that you are dealing with, one, how you are walking in Christ in a way that glorifies Him, and also how you are walking in Christ in a way to where your relationship with Him matters enough to where you not just care, or you recognize the need to deal with it, but that you want to, and you take the necessary steps to deal with your walk. And the things that you are doing to walk with Christ, and it's really one of those things to where I see it so many times. We do things to where when we are walking with Christ, and it is just one of those things to where it's like, oh, I'm walking with Christ. I'm doing this for Christ. But then we also have to ask ourselves, is that our focus? When it comes down to it, at the core of us, and only you know this, is what I'm doing and why I'm doing it truly about honoring God? Is it truly about growing in His ways? Because that relationship and how close you are to Him, how you build upon that as you walk with Christ, should, if there's application, if there's intentional work and things that are being done, for you to take account to what needs to be shaped inside of you to honor God in your everyday, as I've said in the past, in every way, that needs to be exemplified in you. That needs to be reflective of you. And if your connection with Him is meaningful enough, there will be no part of yourself that is okay with not living in the way that He has for you, not being true to what the Word says and how that needs to show up in you. It's important. It is critical even to make sure how you walk is growing you closer and taking steps further along your journey to righteousness. When we allow the moments, the times, the situations, the circumstances to be justified, to be considered as okay, to be acceptable, while we have it as a reflection of ourselves, to some people in their viewpoints, it changes their view, their perspective on what it means to be a man or woman of God. Because their first interaction with what it means to be a man or woman of God could be you, me, or anyone else. It may not be the word that they first interact with. So you want to make sure when you are walking with Christ, you want to make sure that if you have a life to where following God, living for God is important to you, the center of who you are, and honestly, not just important to you, the most important thing to you, then we have to make it our lives, the way we show up on a day-to-day basis, reflective of that. It shouldn't be a thing to where God shows up and is noticeable in you only dependent upon where you are and who you are around. That should be with you and live abundantly through you, no matter where you are. So, with that, I also wanted to just add in this Bible verse from Galatians 5:16 through 17. So everybody listen in real quick. So I say, walk by the Spirit, and you will not gratify the desires of the flesh. For the flesh desires what is contrary to the Spirit, and the Spirit what is contrary to the flesh. They are in conflict with each other, so that you are not to do whatever you want. Whatever you want. Your desire, as I've said in the past, when you were walking in godliness, when you were walking in the walk of Christ, should be to please Him. And it's just something that I think, something that I've seen throughout life. Living a life for God can be such a freeing thing, such a freeing journey. But if God is only a matter of convenience, as far as He's only present in your life at times that only have significance to you, that's not a relationship. Look, you don't treat God as a relationship like you would a business. This is not a transactional relationship. No. We are here to honor and glorify Him. We are here to live a life that is pleasing to Him. Best believe it is very much, in a lot of ways, a one-way street. But this is the thing about that. This is a one-way street that leads to righteousness. This is a one-way street that is truly in your best interest, that yields peace and joy, love, kindness, connectedness from a relationship with Him that will allow you to live a life that you were meant to live. That in it is the true key to what your well-being needs. It's so important, everyone. And this is something that will show up in a lot of aspects in your life. Because in the ways of the world, there is never justification for your nature of your existence in this world. The ways of this world, there is never justification to the nature of existence of the way that you operate in this world. So, when it comes down to how you operate at home, work, within yourself, you have to make sure you align that. You have to make sure your relationship with Him is the foundation of all that. And that'll help your walk. That'll help when you're faced with things where challenges and situations are showing up in different ways. If your walk is right with Him, you will not be necessarily rattled by a lot of things that happen around you in this world. You always want to be aware. You always want to be alert. As someone said in a fellowship conversation that I had with them not too long ago, but that's not supposed to dictate your path. That's not something that's going to change your path. Focus on Him. As your heart is revealed in the things that you do choose to focus on. So I'm telling you, brothers and sisters, I'm telling you, everyone that is currently listening right now, it is critical. It is important. It is what's going to help you be, as I've said in the past, the best version of yourself, which is a continual journey, by the way. There's no finish line in a journey to be the best version of yourself. There's only the next season, next time, next situation, next opportunity to glorify and honor God in how you live on a day-to-day basis. Now we'll end with this. And before I do, please, if you want to join this journey, if this is the first time you're seeing a video with Walking with Christ, appreciate you watching. Thankful that you took the time to join in today and listen in. I pray that something of what was discussed today, something that was talked about today, was helpful to you. And please watch some of the other ones too. Watch some other people out there. But what I will tell you also is that my words, who I am, is not the source of what your walk should be. This is only an example. This is a fellowship opportunity. This is an opportunity to speak into one another as I'm attempting to speak into you right now. We're going to continue to get better as far as how this feels, but straight up, this is about God. This is about honoring God. So if I can help in any way, feel free to join the community. Feel free to follow it, whatever you want to do, but don't follow me. If you follow it because this is a community in which would help you get closer to God. That's why, if you choose to follow it, you should press that button to subscribe and, do the like, do the comment and all that. But don't follow it because you're following me. I'm following God just like we all should be doing. Just like I would hope that you would find your open relationship with Him. And I'm just here as a vessel to help you in any way that I can. So please, make sure you take that journey in a way that's right for you in your relationship with God. And now I'll end with this. What you choose will determine if you are walking the walk of the lost, or the walk towards the journey towards righteousness. God bless everyone.